Dolores Cannon never called anyone an intern. This is your too long, don't want to watch the whole video summary right up front. Here are a few facts you can pocket and then just carry on with your day. My name is Candace Craw-Goldman. I took Dolores Cannon's live July 2008 course in her method of past life regression. December of that same year, I was blessed to create and manage her online support forum for practitioners, as well as begin to support her teaching behind the scenes, and by assisting in every live class in Arkansas up until her death in 2014. Every class, even level 1 classes, were told directly by Dolores to go practice now, and when you are comfortable, take clients and charge a fee if you want. Dolores, how many practice sessions should I do? And she always answered the exact same way. That everyone was different, had different experiences coming into this work, and it wasn't her place to name a number anyway. Hi everyone, it's Candace Craw-Goldman from quantumhealers.com, back again with another What a Great Question. This is an email I got from LM in Michigan. Hi LM. Dear Candace, I love your videos. Please keep making them. I have heard you say there was not an internship program in QHHT, that's quantum healing hypnosis technique, when Dolores Cannon was alive. I'm pretty sure the internship requirements were there all along though, right? Even though the program was not officially in writing. And then she signs it, love LM in Michigan. Okay, LM, again, thank you for the question. So I went and did some research and I actually learned at least one new thing when I did it. So I'm taking this opportunity to state exactly what the official forum, the official website of QHHT says about internship right now here in 2025. What does internship mean in QHHT? Well, after passing the level 1 online course final exam, graduates are then designated with that term, a level 1 intern. Interns then must complete 25 full QHHT sessions, and each one is offered at no cost or for voluntary donation to graduate to a full level 1 practitioner status. Again, this is taken straight from the QHHT official site. So I'm going to flesh this out a little bit more by telling you about the program parameters and rules and the course structure. Okay, so level 1 includes a little more than 20 hours of video in 18 modules drawn from a live class that Dolores Cannon actually taught. It was one full session of her live course, and I believe it was 2012, might have been 2011, but I think it was 2012 where and I was there, I got to participate in all of this with the students and with Dolores and with the videographers. So I was there and participated in this live class. Okay, the access window. Students have up to 120 days to complete the course or until they pass the final exam, whichever comes first. I knew that they had a time limit on the course, but I didn't know it was only 121 days, which is interesting. Just as an aside, we have no expiration dates of the BQH class. And I've had people contact me and say they've started it and something came up with it in their lives and then they finished it months or even a couple years later. So that's the way we decided to handle that at Beyond Quantum Healing. Okay, the session format. Each QHHT session takes 4 to 6 hours, and that includes an intake, interview, induction, regression, and post-session discussion. So that's the format of a typical quantum healing session, almost no matter what version you use, okay? Online versus in-person, the training is fully online, no more live classes, but sessions, including those during the internship program must be conducted in person only. And of course, BQH is nothing like that. We've decided that we will face it a different way and allow people to do sessions online for a variety of reasons that I've covered before in other videos. Okay. Now this is the part I didn't know. I really didn't know this until today looking it up. Intern support. After passing the exam, interns gain access to their version, their official forum for guidance and growth and advice from others who've been practicing, which is really, really interesting. They make you go through the whole thing before you can ask questions of the group. Well, isn't that interesting? BQH doesn't work like that. As soon as you enroll in the Beyond Quantum Healing course, you have access to the forum so you can ask questions while you're taking the course. Sort of duh. I mean, I know that's when I have some of my best questions while I'm learning the material. So anyway, once again, another place where we're completely different from QHHT. Now, they go on to talk about the requirements and the timeline prerequisites. So you have to finish and pass the level 1 online course. That's the first thing. The internship then is perform 25 sessions on separate individuals. I also didn't know that. I knew it was a 25 thing, but it has to be 25 different people. Kind of wow. I mean, that can be tough depending on where you live. But here again then is another big component of this. They want you to do these sessions for free. They say also or via donation until all of these sessions are approved as valid practice sessions. And then you become a full level 1 practitioner and can be listed on the QHHT's official directory. Okay. So they go on to say that most people complete the course in a few weeks, sometimes 2 weeks. That is basically what happens with our course too. The practicum, which is their internship and their practicing, typically takes 6 to 12 months depending on the availability of volunteers. Well, hell's bells, that's for sure. Some people might have a whole lot of people to practice on and other people not so much. Okay, so this history of the internship program has been documented on the QHHT official site as early as 2017. And this is where it gets really, really interesting, okay? So let's back up a moment and I want to talk a little bit about that level 1 class, the one that I was there, and I was in every live class that Dolores taught from 2009 onwards until her death in 2014 when it was in Arkansas. I did not travel with Dolores, but when she had the live classes in Arkansas, I would travel from Kansas and drive 4 hours to be there to assist. And I want to talk a little bit about how all of this internship, and some of this is guessing because I'm no longer involved with the official QHHT program or Dolores's heirs, but I want to talk about this idea of being new at quantum healing. So every single class I was ever in, how many times we talked about it on the forum, how many times we talked about it on the level 2, the level 3 courses, people would always ask, Dolores, when can I start charging people for sessions? It was a very common question. I can't remember any class where this question was not asked. And let me tell you what Dolores would say. And now this is years before little YouTube snippets and all that were out there and available online. YouTube was not as widely used and known back then. But Dolores would say, I can't tell you when it's time to charge for sessions. And then she would talk about if people had further questions. Some people had been doing spiritual work for a while. Maybe they've been giving Akashic Records readings or doing other kinds of hypnosis. Some people were clinical hypnotherapists who had thriving offices who came to take Dolores's class. She would say those people who had some background and experience with clients, she said those people should go ahead and charge right away. They're using their overhead, they're using their office staff, they're paying rent, while they're comfortable doing the method, practicing the method, they could possibly start right away, right? That's the whole idea. It's that interface, it's the practicing. Start right away, she said, if that's the kind of position you are in and if you are comfortable. And she said, if you are not comfortable, if you've never done any work like this, do as many sessions as you feel necessary before you feel comfortable. Dolores Cannon, from my perspective, would never tell anyone how to run their practice. And I can unequivocally state that Dolores Cannon never, ever, at least in my presence or in any of the classes that I assisted her with, ever used the word intern or told anybody how many sessions to practice before charging for their work. Now, I hope that clears a few things up. It's actually one of the big reasons that I decided to release BQH. There were more rules, more restrictions, and more control features coming out of the QHHT official organization after Dolores Cannon died than were ever present while she was alive and teaching. I never really thought about creating my own method, but back in those days when Dolores was alive, she would tell us we had to figure out what kind of practice we wanted, what kind of practitioner we needed to be, that she wasn't going to spoon feed us and tell us every little bit of thing to do, that you needed to be your own person. Yes, she would talk about the voice. Yes, she would give her advice. Yes, she would give guardrails. She absolutely did. But in the end, Dolores Cannon was very, very flexible. And in the question and answer portions of her class, she proved that over and over again. So that is what I know about the internship program at QHHT Official and what is required today. And it's nothing like what Dolores Cannon required when she was actually alive and living and breathing human being. Now, what does she say about it now? I don't know. Why don't you tell me what you think? Have you talked to her in a session? I have my own thoughts about this. I will end by saying this. I wish QHHT Official and Dolores Cannon's legacy all the best in the world and a thriving future. I think it's fantastic that Dolores Cannon is still popular, still well known, and the world is still discovering her. I want nothing more than that to continue. All right. Okay, so if you have a question about quantum healing of any kind, QHHT, Dolores, BQH, or alternative healing, energy work, those kinds of things, please feel free to send me a question at Candace@quantumhealers.com or leave a comment or question below underneath this video. I would love to hear from you. I would love to answer your questions. And if you are an alternative healer of any kind whatsoever, you're welcome to join us in our guru-free community at quantumhealers.com. We'd love to have you because we are horizontal learners and we don't have many rules except for be kind. That's pretty much it. Be kind and don't tell anyone what to do. As long as you do those two things, you're good to go with our group. All right, everyone. Thanks again. See you next week.